Hi, it's Rosie Cake-Diva, and today I'm bringing you hearts and sprinkles. Perfect for Valentine's Day, or just if there's someone you want to say I love you to. In case you want to say I love you.
Oh, love you too?
Great.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to start by trimming the top off each of my cakes, and then I'm going to measure around the sides so that I know that I'm going to get equal layers. And what I like to do is use my knife to join those marks together, and as I keep going round with my knife, eventually I cut through the middle and get even layers. Now I've got a setup board, and I have buttercreamed my cake card to the setup board and popped it in the fridge so it's nice and strong and isn't going to move everywhere. I've used buttercream to start adding my layers of cake one by one, and I'm using a spirit level just to keep checking that at each stage my cake is nice and level. Using some buttercream, I'm just going to create a crumb coat, which means that my crumbs will stick to my cake and won't spoil my proper layer of buttercream. And I'm now going to pop that in the fridge so it goes nice and hard and makes it easier for me to work. Now I'm going to do my proper layer of buttercream, and I'm going to put loads of buttercream on because I'm going to scrape some of it off. I use a bench scraper in order to pull it round and make sure I get nice smooth sides. Now sometimes, because my cake is cold and chilled, the buttercream will start to go hard quite quickly. So what I don't try and do is do it in one go. I will take a layer off, and then if it's not perfect, I may pop it back in the fridge and bring it out again and then put another layer on until eventually I'll get a smooth layer. A little bit of a top tip is, if you are finding that it's not coming round smoothly, just run this under hot water and dry it, and then you've got a nice warm surface that'll smooth the buttercream better. Now I'm using my palette knife to pull in the edges at the top until they're nice and clean, and then I'm going to pop my final cake in the fridge just to chill again and go nice and hard. Now my bottom layer is going to remain buttercream, but my top layer is going to have sugar paste on it. Now if you live in certain parts of the world, you'll call sugar paste fondant, so don't get confused, they're the same thing. I've coloured my sugar paste blue, and I've rolled it out on a clean surface. I've used a little bit of corn flour to stop it sticking. And in the meantime, I have taken my cake out of the fridge and I have brushed it with cool boiled water. Now that's to make sure that I've got some stick and some adhesion when I put my sugar paste on top. So firstly, you want to make sure that the weight of your sugar paste isn't pulling down so it doesn't tear. So make sure that you're properly supporting it. Start by smoothing the top and especially the edges, because you don't want it to rip there. And then people sometimes struggle with the excess sugar paste. So what you need to do is pull it out gently so that you form a skirt, and very calmly and gently, systematically smooth down from the top downwards until you end up with a nice smooth edge. I've transferred my cake onto an upturned bowl so that I can access the base, so that I can trim neatly around the base. And now I've transferred it onto a flat surface again so that I can smooth the edges. Now I always use smoothers. These are my favourites. So I've got a see-through one, which means that I can see what I'm doing, and I've got a 90-degree perpendicular one. So I can actually use this on the side and use this on the top, and by bringing the two together I can end up with nice sharp edges. So firstly smooth across the top, then smooth along the sides, and as you're smoothing that, join the two together to make those nice clean edges at the top. If you get an air bubble, we all get them, I didn't think I was going to get one this time, just when I wanted to show you one, but I did. So here you just use a little needle, clean obviously, to pop a hole which lets the air out and then smooth it over. I've covered my board to match. I do like covered boards, it does make them look prettier and it sets the cake off beautifully. Now let's get sprinkling. I've popped some sprinkles onto a tray with some baking parchment on because these things get everywhere. And I've put an upturned bowl inside the tray just to rest my cake on. I'm going to start with my base cake, which is just buttercream, but that's fine. You don't need to do anything to it. The sprinkles will all stick. And I've created a little mask in a heart shape, which I've just popped onto the cake. And of course the sprinkles will stick everywhere else and leave that beautiful little shape. Right, time for the top layer. Now I've used my little mask template to draw a heart onto my layer. I've painted a little sugar glue in that heart shape. So now when I pull up the sprinkles, that's the only place they're sticking. Ta-da! Right, time to transfer my base cake onto my board. I've just used a bit of buttercream to stick it on there, make sure it doesn't slip. And now I'm using some dowels, 3 dowels, just to make sure that I've got some support for the top layer. Okay, time to put my heart on top. I've got some heart moulds, very cheap, just little plastic moulds, and I've popped some melted dark chocolate. I've just melted the chocolate in the microwave, popped it into the mould, into the fridge. It sets very, very quickly and slips out really easily. Once I've got 2 chocolate hearts, I'm going to use a heated knife just to create a slight indentation, and I'm going to use a dowel with a little bit of melted chocolate on to stick into the hearts. And then a little bit of melted chocolate to stick the heart together. Using a little bit of melted chocolate brushed onto my heart shape, I've been able to stick sprinkles, sprinkles, more sprinkles, and more sprinkles, until my heart is now covered in sprinkles. Okay, finishing it off, I'm just putting a little fondant heart. Using my template, I've cut out a blue one this time. I could have left it buttercream, but I think it looks pretty blue. A little bit of ribbon on both layers, and we're there. Now I've got 2 different sides to this cake now, so I would love to know, put in the comments below which one you prefer, left or right. I think I prefer, I won't tell you. You tell me, just pop it down below. I hope that's helpful. If you make your own cake, please show me on my Facebook page. I really love to see them, I promise. And don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials. And thanks for watching.